Welcome to our hair. So, I guess you're probably wondering what we're doing here, right? Don't you think?
Absolutely. Why did you drag me up here?
And honestly, the backstory is that the one thing that Pam and I do really well is talk. We talk all the time, and basically it's a myriad of subjects, mostly not politics, but just about anything else you can think of. We have opinions on, and I know this is going to surprise some of you, but we don't always agree. Anyway, we thought it would be fun to talk about a few things topically, which is stupid, and say what we think about it, and then ask you guys, can we talk? Can you tell us what you think? We just wondered if this would be fun. We don't even know if we're going to like it, so this could be a one and done or not. But anyway, we thought we would talk. Is that about some of that?
Yes.
Okay. So, without further ado, we have some topics that we wrote down, but we did not discuss them in any way, shape, or form. So, we don't know what we're going to say to each other. This could be 5 seconds long because we could both agree, or it could be, in our case, honestly, 5 hours long because we're real good at talking usually.
Right, right. No contestants have been privy to the conversation.
Nor are there any prizes that we're aware of.
Damn, right. I'm out of here.
Come on, you promised one.
All right.
All right, so first topic for discussion is something that she heard about. I haven't even heard about it, so we're going to hear about this together. If you hadn't heard about it, maybe you had. I don't know. I typically don't hear about stuff. This is the way it is. It's an unmanned car. Apparently, Google tested an unmanned car, and the backstory is?
Right. So basically, in the state of California, Google was in the state of California, and they have a autonomous cars, basically what they call it, and Google has invested a lot of money in gaining some working on technology and stuff for travel with autonomous cars. And Jerry Brown, at the end of August, actually rode in one of these autonomous cars and signed a bill. Jerry Brown's our governor in the state of California, and he signed a bill that legalizes autonomous cars to drive on the road, which is a huge step for Google. And what I think that Google will try to do with this isn't necessarily for each of us to own an autonomous car. It'll be like a new type of rail system operated by Google, where they can pick up people and actually have mass transit done through these autonomous cars. They're still a little hesitant to say that these are the safest way to drive without a driver, and I think right now they're doing it with someone still being able to be a driver in case there's something wrong. But they have driven thousands of miles without humans having to touch the wheel. They've been doing it forever. And I was thinking, it was actually my mom that brought this up to me, and I was thinking, how cool would that be for like senior citizens or other people who need to get around where the bus system may not be the best way for them. And so now they could maybe get this type of vehicle service through Google. It's pretty cool.
So you like the idea?
I do. I think it's kind of cool that Google is looking into it. And really, if computers were made before cars, it might have been the way cars would have been made. I mean, the only people that are against this at this point, the entire California legislature voted yes for it, seems to be the auto industry, which totally makes sense to me because they don't want to lose the fact that every individual buys a car. I mean, even at our house, we have a car for you, a car for me, a car for Danny. So I think this is kind of a cool new wave of doing it without having subway systems or something like that.
All right, so what do I think of it? Well, when you first said it to me, I wondered what was it for. Is this going to be some kind of trucking or shipping method? You know, because when you said unmanned car, I actually pictured a car with nobody in it at all. And I thought, who cares where a car goes if there's nothing in it? So it must be some kind of a shipping type thing. Imagine, you know, semis on the road with nobody in them, hauling, because then you would eliminate the cost of a driver. And then I thought, well, maybe if it's a car, though, it's not a truck. Maybe it is exactly what you were saying, a way to, you know, have cars be. And my reaction was, no, I don't want that. I absolutely love to drive, and I don't want to have 10 years from now only cars on the road that are not these, what did you call them?
Autonomous cars, yeah.
Like, I could see them grandfathering any car on the road that does not have this autonomous thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, we'll call it.
But I don't think it's made that way.
Well, anyway, so my fear would be that you would not be allowed to drive a car, and I absolutely love to drive. I can see some upsides to it, like, you know, if I wanted to go out and party with my friends, now I could go without you.
Yeah.
The designated driver, because I'm the designated drinker normally when we go out.
Right.
Or,
Exactly.
you know, a situation like that, or maybe I needed to get somewhere like a long drive that was more than, say, 10 hours. I could see at some point turning it over to Autobot or whatever you called it, and having that continue driving rather than stop. But ultimately, it scares me. It really scares me because I don't want to live in a world where I'm not going to get to drive anymore. I really love to drive. I love the freedom of driving. So that would be my fear, which would lead me into the next subject. Have you heard about those computer chips that the insurance company, I think it's Progressive,
Yes.
is offering a
Yes.
discount on your insurance if you'll put their chip in your car? Basically the way it works is they put this chip in the car, and every 6 months you pop this chip out, or it downloads in some manner to them, and they look at things like time and distance, how fast you drove. I have it written down here. It says it records a number of parameters like trip time, length, distance, speed, acceleration, deceleration, just to name a few. Also 23 different engine parameters can also be made available. And the deal would be that if you were deemed, I guess, a safe driver, you would get a reduction, but it also says you might have your insurance go up. I would like to know what idiot on the planet would ever agree to that, because there is never going to be an upside unless you may as well just get Autobot cars, because if you're not going to have the freedom to road rage when you want to, or drive over a curb, or whatever it is, you know, I'm kind of being facetious, but I have to say to you, and I hope nobody I know has actually agreed to this, you're a frippin' idiot if you ever agree to these chips in your cars. What's going to be next? Are they going to have your health insurance put a chip on you and monitor your exercise and your food intake?
How about, yeah, there you go.
You know, I mean, this is a really slippery slope.
I would
feel.
have to pay a lot for health insurance if they were monitoring my food intake.
Oh, well, you and me both, sister.
But,
what do you
no.
think of that?
Well, I thoroughly hate the chip in the car thing, mostly because of something else that I heard or had wind of, that they wanted to pass a law that for the emissions of your car, like we already pay a tax, in my opinion, for our car to be on the road. We just all forget that we're paying that tax. It's usually when you are gassing up, there is money that goes to the federal and the state level to be able to take care of freeways, highways, all that kind of stuff. But because our political people cannot monitor the budget the way they should and make sure that that money is spent where it's supposed to be, they came up with this great emissions tax, which was supposed to be them monitoring your odometer, and then you would pay this additional tax for, quote, emissions that you put out into the universe. Now, I don't know. I am done being taxed, so I don't need any more Big Brother on me. And so that's how I feel about that. They sucker you in to you're going to save money, and then all these people are going to end up spending more money because the money we spent on the gas tax, which is like 19 cents, I think, which of the money that you're spending on gas right now is tax just for the local and federal highways. So I'm not positive about that, but I'm pretty sure if you go to any gas place, you can look on the pump thing. So I'm against it. I'm totally against Big Brother. I don't want anybody else watching my moves anymore. I'm done.
Don't you think it's getting scary? I mean, I went to the doctor last month, and the lady said, "Put your hand in here," and she had me put my hand in a scanner, and I was like a deer in the headlights. I was like, what?
I know. I had to put my ass up to the camera. She had to put her hand on a scanner. Like, it was just crazy. I did think that was bad. I know, but I did think that was ridiculous. Like, sticking your hand in a scanner, and I'm like, what the heck is that all about?
You know what was disturbing is I didn't have a choice. I said, do I have to? And they said, yes, it's for your protection. I said, I don't think it's for my protection.
Everything is for our protection.
I think it's for their
I have
protection.
to be completely frisked when I get on an airplane for my
that's
protection.
Just for fun. That's not nobody's protected there.
I
So,
told you.
anyway,
Big Brother, it's getting bigger and bigger.
They forced me to scan my hand, and I really, really didn't enjoy that at all. I mean, it's not painful or anything, but again, you know, we're talking about chips and automated cars, and now they're going to scan your hand for a medical, you know, it was just a doctor appointment. It wasn't surgery or even anything, you know.
It was to get your eyes checked, right?
Right, right. So that really disturbs me. What do you guys think? I mean, again, Big Brother is watching and scanning now.
I guess it's in case you like claim you're you and you're really somebody else that goes in there. I don't know, but still, that just seems odd to me. That I didn't know we had a big scam of people claiming they're somebody else and then going in and getting taken care of medically. I don't know,
think
but
is
it's
that
a little
people
weird.
are going and using other people's health insurance. But
Right,
I don't
that's
think
what I was
anything's
saying,
really
too.
going to happen to me. I won't get an operation I wasn't planning, because what idiot would go in for an operation that they didn't need or weren't expecting? I think it's really just to protect the insurance industry and the health industry from people doing that. I knew somebody once that he hit a wall and he shattered his hand, and he didn't have any insurance, but his brother did, and they looked a lot alike. They were like a year apart, and he used his brother's insurance. So I do believe that that stuff happens, but don't tell me it's for my protection. It's not for my protection, and I don't really like being in a database because it worries me, you know. Sooner or later, all these people are going to start talking. Imagine a file that's tracking how you drive, and where you go to the doctor.
How much miles you've driven, so they can tax you again at more tax.
It's scary. It's a very slippery slope. So no. What do you guys think? That's what I think.
Yeah, give us your take on those two topics: autonomous cars and scanning of your hand. And while you're at it, the filming of your ass and
there's no filming of your ass. I told you, I was kidding about that.
And the whole Big Brother scenario. So, all right, what's next?
Let's talk about something a little less serious.
All right.
We went to it's a new movie theater. It's a moo. It's called, well, I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, Cinepolis?
Yeah, I think it is Cinepolis or Cinepolis.
I'll put the stuff across here so you would know. But anyway, it was pretty cool. I don't know if you guys have these in your area. Maybe you do, and maybe we just got one. It's in Del Mar. But basically, it's kind of a hoity-toity movie theater. It costs more. It was like $20 a ticket.
Yeah, it was $20 a ticket.
And,
total $40.
And that was just to get in the movie. But the reason you pay that is each seat is an easy chair that reclines, and it's like thick, soft leather, and it's comfortable. Yeah. There's also like a button at your seat where you can push it, and a waiter will come and take your order. It's not quite a full restaurant, but it had like a few food items, dessert items, snacks, and alcohol. Real key here is alcohol. When you walk into this theater, it's more like a bar. The lobby is a large
bar and coffee counter kind of together is kind of how I saw it. Like they had desserts and stuff on one side where you can get that, and I'm sure you can order your food. They serve like sushi and then some bar items, foods. And then the other side was just a full-on bar.
Yeah,
you're right.
Big long bar.
Yeah.
So basically, you could order food and alcohol to be delivered to your seats. Also, they carded you the 8:45 movie, which was not even an R-rated movie, but I guess because of alcohol, nobody under 21 could go in. I actually liked it. I did like the prospect of knowing there wouldn't be a crying baby or children kicking my seat or anything like that. But so you go in there, and they're really nice, supple leather chairs.
Beautiful.
They're brown.
I loved it.
Very, very comfortable and very wide, and they weren't teeny or anything. I mean, it really was like your easy chair. It was good sized and everything.
Yeah, and there was like, just on another thing, just so they know, there was like a sort of a small table. It was small with the light that sort of separated you from the next group. So there's all the seats are sort of in groups of two, sort of like couple seats together, and then this table separating the groups of two seats. So it's kind of nice. You felt like you had a little privacy as opposed to just being a long row.
It really did.
Things.
The thing that was there were some things. First of all, I don't know if it was every chair, but the chair right in front of ours, it made a farting sound whenever the person reclined or what's the opposite? De-reclined?
Yeah, I don't know.
But she was doing it a lot. So, imagine you're in the movie and you hear
up and down, just...
It was like a sustained...
It was kind of funny.
I'm not going to do that again, so
don't make
So that was kind of funny and distracting. My honest thoughts on this were, I dug it. It was fun. I don't know that I would go there if there was a movie I really wanted to see. I probably wouldn't go to that theater because it's too distracting. The waiters coming up and down. There were a few times they're right in front of me. I mean, splitting my screen while they're taking somebody's order or bringing them something, and that happened a few times. Too much. It took me out of the movie. I'm one of those people, I want to be in the movie. Don't talk to me. Let me stay inside the movie. So I wouldn't go to it if it was a blockbuster movie, but if it was a movie like we saw, what was the name of that thing?
Trouble with the Curve.
Yeah, a movie like that where honestly I didn't have high expectations anyway.
Yeah.
It was fun. It would be a fun to sort of add a flair. So maybe I would recommend, like, when there's no really good movies out, which there haven't been in my opinion since the Avengers.
Yeah.
That would be a good time to go to a theater like this because it might enhance your experience a little if the movie was lackluster, which I'm not saying it was, but I'm saying that would be my opinion. And then finally, I would re-engineer it if I could. I would do some things differently that could have avoided some of those distractions. Like, why does a waiter have to come take my order? Why couldn't I order like on an iPad or something so that at least I
You'd
could
still
eliminate...
have to bring it though.
Well, yeah, but I could eliminate half
Yeah.
of the distraction. Plus, they lit the waiters up. They had like blue lights on them and stuff, so even you would spot them way beforehand, and it's distracting to see blue lights hovering, you know, in a dark theater. So I would change that, and then I would change the sort of the build of the theater. I think they could have sunk the seats, or the stairs down. So the waiters' heads could have been like on level with you, which is easier for them to talk to you.
Right, I
and
agree
it wouldn't
with that.
block your view. So there's just some tweaks that you could make that could really have enhanced it, or even a wall of some kind for each level, because they really do step you up. So there's no way anybody in front of you, other than a waiter, is ever going to block your view, even if they're really tall.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's what I think. What do you think?
I thought it was awesome. I wouldn't want to go see a movie any other way anymore, except possibly a drive-in movie. But the only reason to go to a drive-in movie, not for me, but necessarily for Susan, is she likes maybe to drink some beer while she's watching her movie. I don't, because I'm the driver, so I drink my tea. But other than that, I thought it was awesome. I mean, who wouldn't want to see a movie that way? I would rather see a movie in beautiful, nice, comfy chairs. The other great thing about it is you can order them online, which I know you can do any other theater, but you don't get your seat. So, for instance, you're already reserved the seat, and nobody can take your seat. So you can arrive as early or as late. As a matter of fact, we went out to dinner prior to this movie, so we kind of showed up like 5 minutes before the movie. And normally 5 minutes in a movie, you're in the front row, stuck in the front row. We were not. We were where we wanted to be, in the back row, nice, you know, and comfortable. I like that it serves alcohol. I like the trendy food, you know, something a little different. I liked the service. I liked that I could buzz the service at any time. If I wanted a soda or something, I don't have to get up and leave the theater. So personally, I think thumbs up, A+. I do agree with Susan that if they could develop the theater where the walk path that the waiters go on is lower than where the seats are sitting, so that we don't see their heads, that would be a huge plus. But other than that, I really thought it was A+. I really enjoyed that experience.
Plus, you got to enjoy it, because I drive her crazy. Whenever we go to a movie, I make us go like an hour ahead of time.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I have preferences to where I sit in a theater. It's hard for me to relax if I can't get myself mostly above. I can't sit with people all around me. It's all me. She just tolerates me. But being able to order the seats online, and you actually select your seats, so I don't have to hurry. I could be down 5 minutes before the previews start and walk in, and I won't stress because my seat's there and it's where I wanted it. And she did. She selected it where I like it in the theater. So I agree with you. Those are all tremendous upsides. The downside is the price, and also in our case, Del Mar is about a 30-40 minute drive from here.
Again, you know, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, if you're on a date night, you know, then you're on a date night. There is no reason why you can't, like, go wherever. You know, you're sort of more the stickler about staying around the neighborhood, and I'm more like, hey, we're having an adventure, we're going. If it takes 30 minutes to get there, who cares? So again, I had no problem with that. Again, I really, really enjoyed the ambiance and the theater itself. Another thing I enjoyed is I didn't have to stand in line at the snack bar waiting. I'd much rather push a button, have the guy come up, me tell them we want a couple large Diet Cokes, and they bring it to us, and I don't have to go down and wait in that massive line. So again, A+. I would rate that A+. So here's the thing: do you have this kind of theater in your neighborhood? And if so, you know, tell us about it. What do you think?
What do you think? Did you like it? Do you have some insights on it?
Yeah.
I will admit, in about the middle of the movie, I finished my soda and I wanted another one, but I was kind of too chicken.
Why not?
I don't know. I just felt
Just
weird
hit the
about
button.
it. I know. I felt weird about it. She gave me hers, so it was all good. But anyways, I give it a thumb up. Also, I don't give it an A+. I give it a B+. Because there's some tweaks. Because like I said, I'm a big time movie buff, and I really want to stay inside the movie. That's what I call it. I don't want distractions. I want to, and there were too many for me. Maybe I'm hyper vigilant. Well, not maybe, but Anyway, so that's how I feel about it. So speaking of, what was the movie called that we saw?
Trouble with the Curve.
Trouble with the Curves. For some reason I have handle the curve, can't handle the curve, anything but that. But anyway, so I thought it'd be fun to talk about what the latest movies we saw were. So
that's the latest one.
I'll give you mine. There you go. We're done with that.
We saw that movie.
I'll give you my quick, and then I'll let you go on because I think we had different opinions of the movie.
Right.
I did not think the movie sucked. Do not get me wrong. I felt though that it was slow. I felt that it was predictable. And I'm not even sure I agreed with the casting. And what was that lady's name, the star?
Amy Adams.
I like her, but for some reason they put her all the time in super high heels, and she just marched all over the place. You know, have you ever seen somebody that, in my opinion, the heels were too high? So she's marching throughout the movie. So if you see that movie, I don't know if you noticed that. We didn't talk about it. If you see the movie, notice the way she walks in these shoes.
Right.
But anyway, it was okay. It was a movie that we knew was going to probably have a happy ending. It was going to be predictable. So if you're in for that, you know, it did not suck. It just was not my favorite.
So what letter grade would you give it? Or popcorn balls or whatever?
I don't know. A thumbs up, thumbs down. I'd give it a thumbs up, but I would say don't go to it first choice. Go to it when there's nothing else on.
Got it. Well, I loved it. What a surprise. But understand I'm a sports fan. I love baseball. And so this was right up my wheelhouse. Not that Susan isn't a sports fan, loves baseball. Clint Eastwood always tends to be in movies that kind of drag a little slow. And he did not direct this movie, but because of that, it does kind of drag a little bit. But I kind of expected that because he was in it. I thought that scene with him at the graveside, I'm not going to give up the movie, was very powerful. It made me cry, actually. And I just love Amy Adams. I loved her when she was in... what was that movie about Julia Child? One Cooking with Julia. Or what? I don't know. I know I don't have the right name of it, but Julia, something like that. I loved it. I love her. I like her acting. I like what she picks for parts. So I enjoyed her. So for me, I do agree. It is fairly no big surprise. Everything is. You could figure out the ending probably midway through the film, but it did mean that I did enjoy it. I knew that was what was going to happen, and I told myself just enjoy, the process. So I would give it a thumbs up. I would tell you to definitely go see it. It definitely, if you don't want to spend the money, which I get, a lot of times you want a big blockbuster movie, that should definitely be high on your list to rent when it comes out in rentals. You won't go wrong. Be a nice, feel-good movie for you guys.
So the next thing I thought would be fun to talk about is what are you TiVoing, we're TiVoing or DVRing if you don't have TiVo. Some things that have just started up again, we TiVo like Private Practice, Grey's Anatomy, Survivor. Is there other ones that we like?
Oh, I love the comedies that you don't love as much. I think like Big Bang Theory and The Middle and
I Met Your Mother.
Danny likes 2.5 Men. I like How I Met Your Mother, Mike and Molly. All those kinds of half-hour shows I really enjoy. The New Girl, I think that is so funny.
Whitney.
Yep, I love
we
Whitney.
Whitney.
Yeah,
those are
Whitney's
very funny.
good.
They are both that. The New Girl and is that no?
No, New Girl is something you don't watch, but
right.
Two Broke Girls.
Yeah,
Yeah. So those are the half-hour comedies, and then you have the drama, and of course tonight The Good Wife starts. I just freaking love that.
That is your favorite, isn't it?
I flippin' love that show.
Mine is
Juliana
Revenge.
Margulies is just the best.
Revenge is mine.
Yeah.
It starts tonight. Too.
Oh yeah, I love that show too. Believe me, and they're up head to head. So I'm hoping both do really well because I don't want either show to go off the air.
Yeah, they just moved
and we are taping both because we have the big TiVo package because we're
Good girls.
TiVo queens.
Good girls, big TiVo. So Revenge starts tonight. That's my favorite. Good girls. Good Wife starts her favorite, which is sort of appropriate. I don't even know why I like Revenge so much, but it really is one of my favorite shows. I really love the girl Amanda and the guy,
the character Amanda,
and Nolan. I just love them. I root for them, whether it's they're being mean or being nice.
I feel like those two are going to be brother and sister sometime in the end. Yeah, of that show.
So I really like that. And then we're watching Survivor. Are you watching that? Are you seeing that Blair is on there and also Jeff Kent from
Actually,
the
that's
Dodgers?
Her real name is Lisa.
Whatever. I would never have known. What's her last name, Smarty Pants?
Welchel, something like that.
Cheater.
I love the Facts of Life when I was a kid.
Who? I wanted to be Joe. Who do you like on?
Okay, I think I have more of a passion of who I don't like on the show than who I do, and that is Russell. I think that guy is Mr. Bossy Pants, and I don't really care for him, and I don't like how he like chastises himself in front of the group but doesn't really want them to agree with him. So for instance, if he's bossy pants, which he was, and then he admits he's bossy pants, he doesn't want anybody else to admit he's bossy pants. It's like he even tries to control his own feedback. It cracks me up. But I just don't really care for him at all. And who do I like? Well, I do like Lisa from Facts of Life, but I think that's because of Facts of Life. And I think that other girl, unfortunately I don't know her name, but I thought the one who decided to vote out in the last episode, who was that person that was voted out? The guy. They decided to vote out the guy in her tribe instead of voting out that one girl.
Yeah.
Thought she was brilliant in picking that alliance, because she has an alliance with the guy who's kind of starting a showmance with the other girl. Sorry, I don't have the names. You'll have to watch the show. You'll know what I mean if you're watching the show. Anyway, I kind of like her because she seems really intelligent. But honestly, it's just way too soon. The teams are broken up into 3, and the editing is kind of piecemeal right now because they're trying to keep viewership up. And so we actually saw a lot of the tribe with Russell because I think there's more drama there. So until I get to see a little bit more of all the tribes, I can't really pick a favorite. But I can tell you I don't like Russell. What about you?
Well, I don't like Russell either. He gets on my nerves. He got on my nerves last time. If you're watching the show, you know that they brought back like 3 people that were medevaced out. Him, the other dude it's hilarious because I remember that season when he fell into the fire and he was Mr. Accident Prone, and I thought he might be the first fatality because when Survivor first started, I thought they're going to kill somebody out here, and I thought it was going to be him. Now, I haven't seen the next episode, but the previews look like the dude hurts himself again. He comes up and he's bleeding.
I know,
on
he's
his
got
face.
bleeding, yeah.
So I would vote him again, most likely to be killed, the first survivor to actually die.
But what about most bloody? He could be voted most
well, he's
bloody
already that. He's
or
won
most
that.
injured.
So
yeah.
I would vote him that, and then the other guy, what's his name? I swear to God, he's got to be related to Alan Alda. Do you hear it in his voice? Is it Michael?
Jonathan. I think his name's
Jonathan. I actually like him okay. I'm not like for him or against him. I'm rooting for Blair just because
Lisa.
Whatever, Blair for me. So I'm kind of rooting for her because I sort of feel like she's an underdog and underappreciated. Plus, I don't really enjoy it when the young people pick on the older people, because if it was me and I were on the show, I'd be the older people.
Right.
So, no real favorite, but I am rooting for Blair. So, 2
Rocking
shows.
chair old, I might add.
Hey, now, let's not get that far into things. Couple things about the shows. Grays, how did you feel about who they killed off and how they left Arizona?
Oh.
And spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, if you've chaped it and you haven't watched it, stop listening. We're going to talk about Grays and we're going to talk about Private Practice.
Right, okay, Grace. So I absolutely love Arizona, love her on the show, and love Callie also. So first I was upset because I thought she was dead. So it wasn't until the very end that you see she's alive but amputated. So if I had to choose, I'd take alive and amputated, but I am kind of bummed. I do want to go back to the end of last year and say...
my new band.
What?
Alive and Amputated.
That would be good. The other... the other thing...
Here all day.
The other thing is, unfortunately,
Hey,
and the other thing is the other person I liked that actually was off the show at the end last year was Lexi. Oh my God, she was one of my favorite people. I wanted her to get back together with Mark Sloan, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that obviously didn't happen. And so when he when he died at the end of this first episode, I was very depressed. But I will say that there was a part of me that I hope that Chandra, hello, I hope you're listening, who writes for Grey's Anatomy, created it. I hope she maybe has an episode where we get to see them together again, because that is the couple that I thought should have been together, and it really does kind of show you how you have very little time and you don't, but together like in heaven or whatever, you know.
It's Grey's Anatomy, not what that silly...
They did the heaven stuff with the mother. Do you remember the mother coming back and, like, you know, Grey seeing her mother and stuff? They can do stuff. It's TV.
Yeah.
Anyway, I love them together, and so I was depressed for that episode. So looks like there's going to be some changes, and we'll just have to hang on. I mean, that's what keeps the show fresh. Even though I do think I heard that it's only going to be on for like maybe 3 seasons more. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
That was something I read. But anyway, what about you? What was your thoughts on it?
Well, I was bummed that they killed off who they killed off too. You could have killed off Karev for me. He's like my least favorite character. I get so tired of like the passive aggressive storyline where they make him a bad guy, then they make him a good guy, then they make him a bad guy. I'm really kind of over that, and I don't buy that he's even this Mr. Casanova. So you could have killed him off, and I would not have cared. I don't think there's anybody else you could have killed off that I would have not cared about. Thank you for not killing off my favorite. Who's my favorite?
I don't know.
Callie.
Oh yes, Callie
I
is your
can't believe
favorite.
it counts on
Well,
that.
Arizona's my favorite.
Hers is Arizona, but
Yes.
it's Callie, so it works out. You could probably understand a little bit of our dynamics just by that statement. Or you could just do this, because it's kind of fun.
Blonde, dark hair. Blonde, dark hair. Hey!
What? So, anyway, I digress. That's what we do. Really, there's not anybody else you could have killed off that I wouldn't have felt, but that I'm glad you didn't kill off my girls. I hated that you did kill off Gray. I hated that you killed off Sloan. I hated that you kill anybody. Don't kill anybody
Little
else.
Gray, you mean, right?
Little Gray, right. And also, I do not enjoy Angry Gray right now. I hope that storyline ends soon.
Me too.
We have a phone ringing. It's one of our viewers calling in something to say. Let's not get it this time. So I didn't enjoy that so much, but I do love it. I follow Shonda Rhimes, who wrote and created, and she's everything there is for Grey's Scandal. Do you watch Scandal?
Oh, I love that show, and we have to still watch the first episode.
And Private Practice, and I follow her on Twitter, and she doesn't really Twitter that often, but the other day she Twittered, I don't know if something like, I've been sitting here at the typewriter for 2 hours, or not the typewriter, God, did I just date myself?
Yes.
Sitting here at the keyboard, I'm sure is what it said.
Yes.
For hours without coming up with anything to write. I don't know if I'm blocked or I just need more wine. So I thought, we could be friends. But anyway, segueing into Private Practice, again, spoiler alert, how did you feel about them killing off Pete?
Totally fine with it. I was aggravated by Pete. Pete's character was just a big old whiny ass. That's how I feel about it. And so, I'm okay with it.
I agree with you. Actually, that's the one person on that show you could have killed off, and I would have helped you. Because the dude annoyed the crap out of me. I didn't like the storyline. He wasn't good enough for Violet. I think Violet is hot. And
She's very hot.
Did not enjoy any part of him and her. I want her to have somebody
His
hot.
His part was kind of preachery. Preachy.
Very preachy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Kate Walsh is hotter even than Violet, though. So there's probably never going to be any guy.
And she's very hot in that Cadillac commercial, too.
Oh, indeed.
Yes,
what's that little saying she says?
I don't know, but I'm too busy watching her to listen to anything that they're talking.
The real question is, when you turn your car on, does it return the favor?
So, thank you for not killing Kate Walsh off. She's the star of the show, so I can't imagine that you would. But I don't really think there's any guy that really is ever going to be good enough for her that I could think of either. I did not like what's his name for her.
What's his name?
Tay Diggs. What's his
Sam.
Sam.
Yeah.
I didn't like Sam for her. I don't know how I feel. Is it Benjamin Bratt? Is that his name?
It is Benjamin Bratt, but I can't remember his character's name.
I don't know either. It doesn't matter. We're going to call him Bo Burley, who is a friend of mine, so I don't know why I would say that. Anyway, we'll call him Bob because we don't know what his actual character name is. He's okay, but I don't know. I don't know about that. Anyway,
I don't have much feelings on that.
That's what I mean. So
it's
I'm not sure that we're like wouldn't it be great if they made her gay?
You know who I really like loads on the show is the blonde that's married to that guy.
And I don't.
That has the country accent, like she's from. And what's her name? Anyway,
she's pregnant.
Yes, just found out she is going to have triplets. But anyway, she is the one I really love. That is my favorite character on the show now. I think she's very gutsy and tough, and I like all that.
If you don't know her name?
I know. I'm drawing a blank. What can I say?
I can picture her too, but I don't know. I'm horrible at names. I'm just messing.
So
anyway, so we thought we would come here, do this. Who knows? I'll be editing this and maybe putting some things to look at other than us. So it's.
But wait, I want to say to them that, again, we want to know what your feedback is. What's your favorite show? What are you watching? What are you TiVoing?
What should we TiVo that we're not?
Yeah, you
Give us
got
a
any
good
good shows?
recommendation.
Because actually Cuz is the one who told us to take Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah,
We didn't even
we
watch
owe
the
her.
first year.
That's been my
So,
favorite show for years.
I know, agreed. So definitely helps to spread the word. You gotta spread the word.
Scaring me a little.
That could be it. Spread the word.
Yeah.
Peace.
All right. You want to say goodbye to the people?
Yeah. Bye, people. Peace.